This is Dr. Roxana Moslehi presenting our paper entitled Incidence of Malignant Melanoma in Iranian Provinces and American States Matched on Ultraviolet Radiation Exposure, an Ecologic Study. Incidence of malignant melanoma has been rising worldwide in the past several decades. Reliable data on incidence rates of melanoma from the developing countries are scarce due to lack of central cancer registration system. Data from these countries are generally obtained from hospital and regional cancer registries. In Iran, the most complete and centrally administered ascertainment and registration of melanoma was conducted for cases diagnosed in 5 provinces during 1996 to 2000. We compared the overall incidence rates of melanoma in Iran with the overall rates in the US. We also compared the incidence rates of melanoma in 5 Iranian provinces with rates in 5 US states, matched to each province based on ambient ultraviolet radiation exposure. The overall incidence rates of melanoma were calculated for Iran and the US and were compared by calculating the standardized rate ratios, which provide estimates of the relative risks of melanoma in the US compared to Iran. Furthermore, 5 US states were matched to the 5 Iranian provinces based on UVR exposure values obtained from NASA's Total Ozone Mapping Spectrometer. The 5 province-state combinations matched on average solar UVR exposure values and used for comparison of incidence data were as follows: Golestan matched with Utah, Mazandaran with Texas, Gilan with Oklahoma, Ardabil with Kentucky, and Kerman with Hawaii. This figure shows the geographic locations and ultraviolet radiation exposure patterns of the Iranian provinces. Panel A on the left is a geographic map of Iran, showing the 5 provinces in our study in green. The provinces of Golestan, Mazandaran, Gilan, and Ardabil are in the north of the country, while the province of Kerman is located in the southeast region of Iran. Panel B is a map generated by NASA's Total Ozone Mapping Spectrometer, depicting the average solar UV irradiance values for all regions in Iran, showing a general increase in UVR exposure values from the north to the south of the country. This is a comparison of the overall incidence rates of melanoma in Iran and the US. The standardized rate ratios of melanoma, calculated by taking the ratios of the age standardized rates in the US versus Iran, were 37.97 for males and 36.11 for females, suggesting significantly higher incidence of melanoma in the US. This table shows the age-standardized incidence rates of melanoma in the 5 Iranian provinces and US states matched on average solar UVR exposure. Age-standardized rates of melanoma for both genders were significantly higher in each US state compared to each Iranian province, despite similar UVR exposure values. In conclusion, our analysis revealed significantly lower overall incidence of melanoma in Iran compared to the US. Furthermore, incidence of melanoma was lower in each Iranian province compared to its UVR-matched US state for both genders and across all ages and years of the study period. Our findings underscore the need for additional comparative studies to decipher the influence of other extrinsic and intrinsic factors on the risk of this potentially preventable malignancy.